Ladies and gents, let me just tell you that this game is absolutely wonderful. Hey everyone, this is Thyworm and today I want to talk about the new indie game Don't Die Minerva, which enters early access on December 5th. It is developed and published by Xavient. I got a review key, so thanks for that. And if you like indie reviews, consider subscribing. Options are up first, there's a few of them. Resolution goes up to 4K and there are some graphical options. It is an indie game and it's built in Unreal Engine, which in my experience just runs really well. I had no performance or graphical issues at all. Don't Die Minerva is a roguelike mansion crawler where you, Minerva, are going through the levels of this huge house, defeat ghosts and other creepy creatures, clear the rooms and gather all the loot you can find. The story isn't really there yet in this version of the game because it's very early access, but it doesn't really require a story because the gameplay is more than enough to keep you occupied. Minerva has 2 weapons to fight the bad guys. Equipment drops in 4 rarity levels: common, rare, epic and legendary. Her primary weapon is a flashlight in some shape or form. There's your regular flashlight, a photon tether, a light bulb cannon or even a heavy flash gun. You also start the game with a pet, usually a bear. These stuffed animals can be dropped on the battlefield and each pet has their own abilities. The bear does a large AoE damage, the monkey throws homing bananas, the cat chases enemies and the dragon flies in a straight line and demolishes everything in its path. I love the dragon. I would have expected an owl as a pet, because it is Minerva and the Roman goddess of strategic warfare and wisdom was often depicted with an owl, but maybe that's a consideration for the devs at a later stage. Each weapon and pet can also be upgraded by inserting gems. Rubies deal fire damage, amethysts deal lightning damage, sapphires cold damage and the topaz stuns enemies and knocks them back. They also change the color and animations of both flashlights and pets. Minerva has a few pieces of gear to customize, such as boots, a pendant and a backpack. All of these items are displayed on Minerva's character, showing off your new shiny loot. The gear is randomized. Each piece has its own stats, but there are also generic stats which are shown in the inventory overview. On the right side you can see the effects that the gems have on Minerva and her pets. By using different gems you can create builds and make Minerva extremely tanky, stacking topaz gems, or make her more of a glass cannon with a ton of rubies. At later stages of the game you will need at least some additional health, because the enemies start to hurt a lot at some point, but otherwise you're free to build Minerva in any way you want. The game offers a lot of varieties in items and I'm sure that over the period of early access we will see more gear coming our way. The roguelite element comes in the form of essence crystals. Throughout the mansion you find these stuck in the ground for some reason, or they drop from enemies. You can use the crystals at the ghost butler back at the hub. This guy sells you new abilities like additional health, the chance to use your flashlight to find hidden spots in the levels containing secret chests, or a teleport that makes moving through the mansion a lot easier and prevents backtracking, so you don't have to miss a single room. High levels provide more essence gems, granting you more perks. And after you die, the invested essences and perks remain. Any crystals you have on your character, however, perish with you, so be sure to bank those materials whenever you can. The levels are procedurally generated, so no floor is ever the same, which increases replayability a lot. Every floor offers a blood fountain, which lets you return to this hub. Apart from spending essences, there is also a shop with 3 items for sale. You can buy upgrades or reroll for 3 more items. All of this costs gold, which drops all the time from enemies, crates and barrels. Each floor has an elevator which requires a key to operate. The key drops in the key room, you can't miss it really, and this key room offers some of the more complex fights in the game with multiple strong enemies, traps on the floor, moving parts. It's great fun and a real challenge. After you defeat everyone, the key is yours. You can get to the elevator and continue your journey. Now that you have a decent idea about how this game works, let's talk a little bit about how absolutely amazing this game is, because I had a wonderful time. Starting off with the whole atmosphere. It's very Tim Burton meets Luigi's Mansion meets Unreal Engine. It looks gorgeous, the lighting is amazing with the flashlights, the reflections in the mirror on the wall, the animations of the protagonists and the enemies, the layout of the rooms. It is all so polished and well executed. I was completely immersed into this game, not least of all because of the music. Just listen to this, guys. I'm not kidding, I was swinging in my gaming chair for that much needed exercise. Bloody hell, this is some good music. The bass player here, the literal god, is restrained and laid back, but damn, these riffs are top notch. Look and listen at me walking through the mansion. So good. And then the battle starts. Listen to the church organ entering the fray with its carpet of chords, elevating the tension. And then when the battle is over, the swing returns and we're all good, looting our way to the next level. Indie games usually have great music. I think also because the artists are less mainstream and given a lot of freedom, but mostly that results in very melodramatic tracks. There's nothing wrong with that and it is often beautiful, but rarely are games hitting it home with a soundtrack like this one. I remember one game that did it as well with jazz tunes, amazing jazz tunes. That game was Gunpoint. Here, a small take from that one. I can talk about this for ages and why it is so good, about all the little nuances in the percussion, but I won't. I'll provide you instead with a bit of my personal experiences playing this game. I had a lot of fun. I was admiring the artistry in this game and enjoying how smooth it played. The gameplay is already very mature for an early access game. This is exactly how I think early access games should be. It's extremely playable and fun. It offers a good chunk of content as well. My third run was the run I managed to make it to the end. All 9 floors and the final boss. After defeating that guy, I unlocked another difficulty, so I can try this all again on hard mode, which I will. After that, there's also very hard mode to unlock. This normal difficulty run took me well over 2 hours, by the way. I can recommend playing with a controller, which was much better for me than mouse and keyboard. Here are some improvement points for Don't Die Minerva. 1. Mouse and keyboard control. It just wasn't as smooth yet. It does offer both click to move and WASD movement, by the way, so that's a good thing. 2. Boss fights. They are very generic and some actual mechanics here would be great. I found the key room fights in each level usually more interesting than the boss fight itself. 3. More levels and gear and pets. I'm sure this will be incrementally updated over time, as Xavient also states in their early access overview. Don't Die Minerva has its core mechanics down to a T. There is a clear vision on what sort of game this is, what the direction will be, and it's not hard to imagine how this game will be improved. The current package is a solid beta version ready for community testing. By the way, can I just say that this is one of the best written early access articles I ever read. Early access is something I tend to cover a lot, and I read a lot of these, and they're basically all like, oh, we want community feedback, and then they drop a game you can complete in 70 minutes without any features, that kind of crap. No guys, this is the real deal. You can sense it everywhere, in the posts, on Steam, in the polished game. It's good stuff. I would definitely recommend getting it if you like what you see. I don't know how much this game will cost yet, because it releases on December 5th, and pricing information isn't available at the moment of making this video. However, I would say that if the price is between 20 to 25 euros or less, it's definitely worth a buy. For sure. If it is more than that, I think you need to be a fan of the genre and specifically love this, but I can't imagine them charging 30 euros for this, honestly. Follow me on Twitter guys, @Thyworm. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. I will see you soon. Bye bye.